I've been looking for the best robot for gold trading, and recently I have tested one that shows really a fantastic performance, average of $500 per day if you trade a complete 1 ounce of gold. And in this video I will share the strategy with you on a trading platform if you want to trade it manually, and as well I will give you the robot for free at the end of the video, so you will be able to place it on MetaTrader and test it automatically as well. I have a complete guide on how to do that. You can do it all for free. So if you're a fan of algorithmic trading, or if you want to learn algorithmic trading, that would be really suitable video for you. And now let me tell you about that strategy, because it is really interesting one on M1 chart, which means that it is kind of a scalping strategy. And for the beginners, that means that we enter the market, we take quick profits and we are out without risking a lot from our capital. But when it comes to risking, it really depends on how much you are trading with and what proportion of your risk capital you are putting into the trade. So I would suggest you never risk more than 2 to 5%, but I'm not a financial advisor as well. This video has just educational and entertainment purposes, so always make your own decisions when it comes to trading. Now, straight to the point, I will share with you my trading screen, and I have here the trading view platform where I have gold on M1 chart. And the first indicator that I will add is the Bollinger Bands. So I will go to indicators and I will search for Bollinger Bands, and here it is. Now by default we have period of 20 and deviation 2, but I will click on the settings and I will change from 20 to 32, and the deviation I will change to 2.8. Okay, later I will show you how I know exactly that these are the best parameters. So I will click on OK, and you see that the Bollinger Bands just open a little bit. This is because the deviation is higher. So the Bollinger Band has plenty of applications, but what you can notice from the first glance is that whenever there is a movement or a trend, the bands open and they go away from each other. When the market goes sideways, the bands get closer. And the entry rule here is that we will buy or we will go long whenever the price goes below the lower band, and after that it gets inside the bands again. For example, right over here you can see that the price went below the bands and after that it went inside the bands. But for the signal to be true, we need to see a bar opening below the bands, and on the opening of the next bar we are taking the trade. So for example, right over here, and I think this is the most recent example. No, actually that is the most recent example. So let's have a look at these two. Right over here we have the price going below the bands and we have a bar opening below the band. On the opening of this bar we should enter right in here. Now when is the exit? We exit with an indicator called standard deviation. I will again search for that indicator. It is called standard deviation, and here it is. I will click on the first one that shows as a result, and by default again we have length of 20, but I will change that, and instead of 20 I will use length of 37. Here we go, and I will click on OK. So this is a line below the chart that goes a little bit over the zero, and if I increase it a little bit, I will put one horizontal line at level 4. Here we go, 402. I want it to be exactly at 4. Actually I can right click to settings and I will change the coordinates to 4, and there we go. So we will exit the trade whenever the standard deviation crosses the 4 level upwards and goes downwards. So it should go up and go down again. You can see that if I zoom out, This happens on very extreme conditions, or in other words, when there is really a huge volatility. And right in this example, let's see what happened here. We have the short trade, and for shorting, obviously we need to see the opposite, price going above the upper band of the Bollinger Bands and then going in. So you can see right here that we have a bar that opened above the upper band, and on the opening of next one right over here we should be selling. Let me put one vertical line as well. So at this point we have a sell signal. The price goes up and down, and with that extreme situation you can see that the standard deviation goes above the 4 and we should take the profit at this zone. So this is really a simple strategy. There is no stop loss or take profit. If price goes below the lower band and on the opening of next bar, if the bar is still below the band, we should buy. And the opposite is on the other side. Now what happens if we buy and there is an opposite signal to sell? We close the buy trade and we open the sell trade, or we reverse the trade. And this is very important in trading, because I have to tell you that what happens, usually beginners fall in love with the trade, right? They believe, for example, crypto or Bitcoin will go up, and they buy it, and even they see everything on the opposite side, they see the market crashing, they still believe it will go up and they are not shorting it. So same thing with gold or any other asset. If you see the opposite signal, you have to sell it. It is the strategy that you follow. And if you want to avoid the emotions, you have to follow the strategies very strictly. The best way to do that is with the robot. This is why I will attach the robot down in the description. You can download it for the strategy that I described in this video, and you can test it on MetaTrader. If you don't know how to do that, there is a complete guide that I have recorded. I'll put it in the corner, I will put it in the description, so you can test it yourself automatically with a robot on MetaTrader, because this is where algorithmic trading works best for the moment. And I told you that at the end of the video I will show you the statistics of that strategy. I'll bring EA Studio where I'm analyzing the strategy. It's a professional software that I'm using, but you don't need it because I have attached the robot down in the description. So here is the performance. The profit per day is $524.87 if you are trading a complete lot. And you can see that I'm testing this strategy for the last 1.5 months, or this is 50,000 bars, and I have tested this strategy 288 times. And we have a very steady profit line. There are some declines, but with every strategy there are losing trades. That's why the curve line goes up and down. It's not straight profitable line. And from 288 trades, if I click on the report and I go to stats info, you will see that we had maximum 4 consecutive losses and the drawdown was 33%, but this is because I selected to use one lot in a $10,000 account. If I decrease it to 0.1 and I click on accept, then you will see that the drawdown will be just 3%. So it really depends on how much you are trading with and in what account. So always make sure you keep a good risk money management, okay? Don't risk a lot from your account. This is the strategy, guys. It works really nice and very simple. There is a very nice balance chart that I hope will last longer. And if you think this is not the right strategy for you, there is another one right over here. If you have found that video useful, I'll be super happy if you smash the like button, subscribe for more, go grab the free robot to test it yourself, and I wish you a wonderful day. Take care, bye.